Not even a comb. It's conditioned body. How are you, Pat?
Very well.
Got my shawl there, I think that's it. Sit down. Please be seated. People from Brighton have come? Has Jill come? No. Beg pardon? But today they could have come from the evening class. Ravi, just come here for 1 minute. I think the letter is so strong. I just can't bear it. It's too much. If you don't mind, I find it's too much.
Whatever you say, yes.
After all, I know there are some extreme cases, but
It's better to say it now.
it's too much, I personally think. There are, of course, extreme cases, as I said. One has to be.
Could the new people please put their palms facing upwards to our holy name? Put their palms, the hands with the palms facing upwards towards, as though you're asking for a gift.
I myself going into austerities all the time. I don't take any lunch, breakfast, nothing. It's very little. mean, I have received such letters from India also, and they said the same. Some of them are really, I just don't know why it happens like that. Like Jill said that it took 6 months for her to get her vibrations, while there are people who are feeling the vibrations since just they saw this. It's true. I mean, I don't know what to say. What to answer? Let's start. Today is a day of departure for me for India, and I'm very sad that I have to leave my children here. It's a sad day, no doubt. But I have to go, as you know, and you all are going to join me, quite a lot of you. But those who are going to stay here have to understand that they are here with a purpose, not without a purpose. And during my absence, one should not waste that time. On the contrary, you must put your mind to find out what you can do to improve the conditions of other Sahajogis. Many of you are Sahajogis and you have felt cool breeze from the very first day and have been feeling it all through. But there are so many still who don't even feel the cool breeze. And they feel very funny about it and feel sort of guilty. Sometimes they feel that they are something of a lower type or something wrong with them, that they don't feel the cool breeze. So one of the greatest worry for all of you should be that there are some people who are not feeling anything in their hands. They have been coming to Sahaja Yoga, have been religiously working it out, but they haven't been able to achieve the first experience of cool breeze. For this, there can be many reasons. Not one, but there can be many reasons. And without getting involved into these reasons, if you try to see within yourself, and if others who have felt it are compassionate and kind, they can definitely help others. But the worst thing that we human beings suffer from is ego. And this ego makes us feel small. At the slightest thing, anybody tries to help. Some people might have a hurt ego, might have a bloated ego, might have a state of mind which does not even see the ego. And that is why it is difficult. to talk to anyone. What is to be done to improve? So those who are better off suffer from a dilemma. They don't want to hurt another person, and another fear they have that if they try to help others, their ego might go up because they are afraid of their own ego. But we must understand that once we have come to Sahaja Yoga, once our Kundalini has been awakened, then all of us have now become part and parcel of one body. Of one body of the great primordial being. In a body, as human bodies are, supposing a finger is numb, then all the body's attention is on that finger to cure it. And all the other fingers and the whole body, the brain, the mind you can call it, everything is worried about that finger, how to make it all right. Naturally, there is no ego for these fingers. So nobody feels hurt or bad. And the fingers are also anxious to do it because they can feel the problem of the finger which is numb. If there is some problem, say, internally within your body, all the cells which are needed to correct that problem will rush. The blood will rush, the heart will pump, everything will work out in a very coordinated way. But nobody feels hurt. Then why should I take help from anyone? Neither the one who helps is frightened or afraid or also feels the evil. The reason is the cells of the body are under the complete control of one brain or one personality or one self. But in Sahaja Yoga, this collectivity is not yet established. That's why people feel hurt, people hurt each other. They have fear. Of another cell, which is the brother cell, which is the partner cell, which is the part and parcel of your own being. Are we afraid of our eyes or afraid of our nose? Are we afraid of our hands or of our feet? And this collectivity is such a vicious circle that unless and until you become really collective, you cannot feel another person. And unless and until you have that sense of responsibility of collectivity built in yourself, you cannot help another person. So a certain amount of growth is needed in the whole body to be sensitive enough to help each other, to be wise enough to help each other, to be resourceful enough to really nourish another. And that development has to come again through collectivity. It's most surprising. I know sometimes people feel that there are Sahaja Yogis who are not even of one mind. I agree that somebody will say your Vishuddhi is catching, another will say your heart is catching, another will say your void is catching. They don't say that all of them will say the same thing. One will say this, one will say that, one will say that. The reason is Some of them have developed a certain sensitivity to a certain center, but not to all the centers. And that's how there can be a difference of opinion, as there should not be at all. So firstly, we must all know that we are still growing. We have to still grow. In Sahaja Yoga, even if you get your realization, that doesn't mean you have suddenly become John the Baptist. We all have to grow. And for growing and growth, we have to discard something and we have to accept something. And the best thing that should be discarded is your ego. And it comes in so many ways that it creates a barrier between you and your Creator. Sometimes this ego can take you to anti-God activities and you will not know that it is your ego is taking down there. Because the identification with ego has been not in this life but in many lives before also. So to get misidentified, or we can say to get dissolved, or this ego, or to get away from this ego, is a difficult. But as you grow out of the mud of this ego, the lotus starts becoming fragrant and everybody can see that fragrance. It is more difficult in the Western countries than in the East. Because the whole basis of the growth in the West has been so far based on ego and competition. There is no competition in Sahaja Yoga. You just think, if one finger starts competing with another finger, what will happen? It is as absurd as that. Now we are talking of fruits. We are not talking of the shoot, what people have achieved through Western style of thinking. Now we have to go deep down into the roots. So we must change our methods. There is no competition at all among roots. They help each other. If one fails, another goes and helps. That is how this living process can work out. We have to change our ways of tackling ourselves and others. And we have to realize that God's power of love is the highest, deepest, and the mightiest. And this is the power of love that we have to accept. But love just does not mean that you spoil someone or tell lies just to please someone. It may not be pleasing in the beginning, maybe, but ultimately it will. So when you have to talk to someone, of course, you need not be arrogant or rude at all. You should be sweet. You should be kind, compassionate. But it's no diplomacy going on there. It's not any that you are trying to get out some votes from that person. It's a guideline you are giving to the person. And the guideline can be even silent. The greatest guideline for anyone is the precepts you follow, the ideals you have, the way you behave. You know, in India, one person gave realization to 10,000 people. and how he impressed others. He impressed others because he went to an office, a commissioner's office, for some his personal work. And then he started talking in such a manner that they couldn't understand that this man has come for some practical, every day-to-day stuff. And the way he's talking, the way he's behaving, the way he's dignified, and so firm. How is he managing that? So they said, who is your guru? Immediately came into their head, must be some good guru here there. He said, I have no guru. I have only a mother. He said, we all have. That's how it started. So, one must know that by your own behavior, you can talk to another person. And that behavior should not be superficial, must be coming from the heart, the concern that this person should be honored. Genuine concern. And even a dog knows that. You don't have to tell anybody by taking some sort of a vow. But even a dog knows what is a genuine concern and what is not a genuine concern. With that concern, you have to talk. And that is what we lack, is the genuineness within ourselves. Our heart is not open. Open your hearts. Now you have entered into the kingdom of God. Open your hearts. Just see yourself, why have you got fear? For what? Ultimately, what is going to happen? We are all going to die, isn't it? So fix that point. One, we are going to die. Whether a tiger eats us or we jump from anywhere. Something has to happen to us to die. So why should there be any fear? Now, if there could be a genuine fear, is this that you may not receive your realization. Even this genuine fear has no meaning, because this will also kill your chances of realization. If you believe that God is great and that His compassion is great, really from your heart, you will get your realization, no doubt. You all are there for that. And the divine power itself is anxious to do it. Extremely anxious. You can see. Can you believe that there are so many people who are realized souls today in this London? I came here about 20 years back, and if somebody had told me that there are going to be so many realized souls here in this place, I would never have believed. Because at that time I had met very few. In the whole world, I would say. So the things are happening, but be patient. And believe in the mercy of God, in the kindness of God, in His compassion, in His anxiety to give you this gift of realization. And this is one of the greatest hindrances people have when they do not feel their vibrations. Today I received a letter from jail, And she said she went with my photograph to be framed or something in a shop. And the shopkeeper, that lady, she looked at the photographs. She was a little bit, I don't know, concerned. And she said, whose photograph is this? So Jill just said that to put your hands towards it. Oh God, what has happened? As if some door has opened. Just she put hands there and she gets that. And Jill was amazed because 6 months she never felt anything. She was breaking her head with it. Mother, I never feel cool breeze, I never feel cool breeze. She is a great seeker, no doubt. And now she says that her brother came and he didn't feel the cool breeze. So Jill said, you have a bad liver. Yes, yes. How do you know? I have. I have got pain in the liver. I have had problems with the liver. So Jill said, put your hand towards the photograph and put your left hand on the liver. Oh God, I am feeling this. I am feeling the tingling and this and that. And he showed the finger for the liver. And she was amazed that this gentleman just walks into the shop where so many people are coming, going. No Caxton Hall, no peaceful atmosphere, no other surgeon visiting there. And suddenly you find this gentleman feels the cool breeze. Not only that, but he can exactly say where he is catching. Nothing happened, no trembling in the hands, no shaking, no burning. And he felt better on the liver. She couldn't understand. What was the reason? The reason is very simple. When you come for a program, there are many others who are already feeling vibrations. And you don't feel it. It's like, you see, they have a property and you don't have, sort of a thing. So, your mind which has worked through competition, mind which has worked through realizing that somebody has something I don't have, haves and have-nots. That mind starts putting fear into your head. Oh God, will you have it or not? Will I get it? Or even if I get it, will I lose it? And that fear I see on the faces of many new people. Give up that fear. You are all going to get your realization. Give up that fear. You have not entered into any competition here. Just to relax. Just relax. Then the more you want to do about Sahaja Yoga, again you are tense. I have to meditate early in the morning, I have to get up tomorrow early in the morning. You see, you go on pestering yourself. Whole night you won't sleep. And when you are meditating, you are dozing. Relax. God is looking after you, believe me. He is going to give you realization and He is going to look after you and He is going to wake you up in the morning too. But relax. The first idea that I can do it is wrong. He has to. It's not working out because you think you can do it. If you can come to this conclusion that I cannot do it, it is His mercy, His graciousness has to come. But after realization, you have to do something in the sense, you have to desire. But when I say you have to desire it, again you will say, all right, now I am going to sit down here and nail myself to this place and I'm going to sit down and desire it. This desire is a dead desire. You see, just pushed onto your head that, oh, I must desire, mother has told I must desire. You have to be hungry. You don't say that I have to desire that, I have to be hungry. Do you? The hunger is from within, which is there, no doubt, but is clouded. The hunger is clouded because you have fear. If you put a goat before a tiger and give him to eat, he will reduce with that eating whatever it is. Because it has that fear that there is a tiger which is going to eat you. So first kill all the imaginary tigers around you. Again we come back to the same. That desire must come from within. And it is there. What is clouded? Relax. It should not be that I am very relaxed. It's childlike. It's simple. A relaxed person is just like a child. So not to get frantic. Try to relax. That's all. For everyone. But relaxation never means that you are inactive. On the contrary, the person who is relaxed is extremely active on the exterior, but inside is absolutely silent. Absolutely relaxed and at ease. Outside you may feel, as you know now, at this time, tremendous vibrations are flowing. And I can see the flow, tremendous. And all the chakras are doing like this around me. But I see them and they are playing. At the most I may stop talking. But it is flowing. So whether it is for the seeking or for anything else in the world, the first thing is that you must take an attitude of a relaxed witness. If you can do that, then those who are not feeling vibrations will definitely feel. I've seen people on whom I've been working, it wouldn't work out. Of course, they were not rude or anything arrogant, but felt very sad that they couldn't get the vibration. So I said, all right, today you go and enjoy the flowers in the garden, enjoy the birds, and talk to the sky and come back to it. It works out. Because you have been always like this. In Sahaja Yoga, you don't have to achieve anything. You become. First you become, and then mentally you understand Sahaja Yoga. But those who try to understand Sahaja Yoga mentally first are really in for trouble. Because when you read it, it sounds so great and you think, oh God, where am I? So, please, if you give realization to someone, take it easy. It will grow. Don't give advent to it. Next moment. We do it. Why? We think we should impress the person that Sahaja Yoga is a great thing and the person must read Advent, so he'll come to Sahaja Yoga and will establish this man because he will see and will be impressed. If somebody is going to be impressed by these things, such a person is of no use for Sahaja Yoga. Take it wrong. If they are going to be impressed by something exterior and superficial, how far will they go? They have to achieve it within themselves, their own spirit. They have to be impressed by themselves, by their own achievements. If you understand this simple principle, that when we become the spirit, we manifest a power which is just the opposite of any other so-called powers. Like you take science, it will analyze. Sahaja Yoga will synthesize. Take philosophy, so-called, it will try to find out the dogmas. Sahaja Yoga will neutralize all barriers of all the religions. Because all these forces are deadening, they deaden. The religion is deadened, God is deadened, everything is deadened by that. While Sahaja Yoga is a living force within you. And that's how it neutralizes all that is destructive, all that is deadening. It's a living force of God. It's a very powerful force. It's very wise. It understands everything. We have heard about it, but we never believed there could be such a force. And the first time we feel that force, we don't want to believe it. How can that be? Because we still don't believe that we can be the source of that force, which is integrating, which is synthesizing completely, which nourishes, which helps you to rise above falsehood to reality. It doesn't allow any falsehood to build in. While all other forces, whatever you try, political forces, based on falsehood, absolute falsehood. All politics is based on falsehood. We can see that. How can you explain the policies of these nations? You just don't understand. All falsehood. Your democracy is demonocracy. Your communism, I don't know what sort of a thing it is. All absurd, perverted, and false. But in reality, you are a communist, you are a democratic person, everything within yourself is the spirit. But to become the spirit, if you stand on falsehood and want to achieve it, you cannot. Give up all that. Become the spirit. then you start seeing from the window of the spirit, everything is different. So the falsehood that we have accepted throughout stops your vibrations. All this is falsehood. Believe me. The truth is God's love. That's the only truth there is. That's why I say that God is love and He is truth. The rest is all falsehood. And if you believe in this principle to begin with, really from the heart, then this power starts flowing through you. It's the most powerful thing, universal thing, which is doing thousands and thousands of things, of making these beautiful flowers, fragrant flowers, our heart beating, creating human beings, animals, everything is done through this living power. And this living power just has to flow through. And believe me that human beings are the only instruments of that power. Some people think of compassion and think that they must help other people. That's false. You can't help. You help on a superficial basis. The only help one can give to another is when you become part and parcel of that great being and realize that other cells are also there, who are awakened or may be awakened. That's the real help. That's the real compassion. That's real happening. Sahaja Yoga is definitely the deep understanding of this fact. We indulge into activities which are superficial and could be anti-God, as I told you. But for Sahaja Yoga, the activities are extremely simple. Even a finger movement like that is sufficient to do tremendous things. There's no need to stand on your head for it. Awakening is your own. There's no problem on that. The problem is to prepare yourself for that awakening by not preparing yourself. Be unprepared. Be simple. Just be simple. Be childlike. Just that. Which is such a difficult thing, to be simple. No elaborations are needed. Nothing is needed for that. No preparations as such, except open your heart. Now how will you open? Like that? Pay attention to your heart. Just pay attention to your heart. You'll be amazed. It will start melting. Just melt your heart. The thawing starts as soon as you pay attention to it. Tensions will drop off. And you will feel full breeze. So those who saw yogis, who come to Sahaja Yoga, I didn't feel vibrations, should know that the fear that they have. Everybody thinks that there's a show on, like a dog show, like other shows, you see. And they come with that idea. There's no show on. It's a thing that you have to achieve yourself, which you achieve that state automatically. Now this is about the Sahaja Yogis who feel that they do not feel any vibrations. Maybe sometimes it happens also in some places where the Vishuddhi chakra is very bad, you don't feel any cool breeze. So it doesn't matter. As long as you feel peaceful, enjoy them. Why worry about the vibrations? I don't understand. What's the need? If it is not there, well and good. As long as you feel the peace of your spirit, you just put your hands to another person. I remember one gentleman in India always used to say, Mother, I don't feel anything, I've done this. I said, thank God you don't feel it. He said, why do you say that, Mother? I said, enjoy your peace. Enjoy it. But then he wouldn't listen, so I said, all right, go and feel the vibration of a particular gentleman. And he got blisters on all his 5 fingers. And he came to me and said, Mother, what? I said, you wanted to feel, now have the blisters, what can I do? So those who do not feel also are avoiding little problems for the time being. Take it easy. It's a very good word. Take it easy. Which is, this word has come very recently. It was not there, never. It was run before. Now everybody says, take it easy. Especially if you have been to some other gurus and some other meditation centers and all that, where you have been jumping morning till evening, you see. You don't want to believe that Sahaja Yoga you get only by sitting quietly. Now there are ways and methods for improving your vibration. As you know, in Sahaja Yoga they are all described. For people who suffer from ego, I think best thing is to put your hands into the eyes, right hand. Maybe. It may work. Try it. But don't prepare. Just push your hand into eyes sometimes. It may work. And for people who suffer from superego, little bit burning your hand on the candle may help. Just try. Because the hands are not sensitive. So there is a heat or a cold too much. Either you are a frozen personality or you are a heated personality. You are not in the center. So if you are a frozen personality, better melt it a little bit. Try. I never said this before because half of you would have run away if I had said this. But don't burn it to have blisters, I am saying. Just a little bit, try to see that if you burn your finger, the sensitivity will increase. But someone is thinking just now that if you have both the problems, what do you do? There are permutations and combinations. Because if you get out of your ego, you have a big superego that comes up. And if you get after your superego, the ego comes. Then, the attention has to be brought here. And Sahaja Yogis know what it is here to pick attention here. If you can keep your attention here, then you are above this. And if something drops out, it drops out forever because you are standing here. Say if I have a shawl and somehow I can jump onto that gallery and this shawl falls off, then I never have it, isn't it? Because I am there and the shawl is down. So the ascent must take place. If you do not ascend, how do you ascend? Is through your attention. Where is your attention? Ask yourself, where is my attention? Either you are counting your money, counting your votes, or some people even count lampposts sometimes. If they have nothing to do, they can go on doing whatever they like. But count your blessings. Count your blessings. And your ascent will start. Count your blessings. And that is how you ascend. Ascend in the realm of God. If there is no ascent, then you will move from left to right, right to left. You will be a wobbly person. But count your blessings with your heart, feeling, with thankfulness. English language is very good, you say thank you. Now in Indian languages also you see we translated it to say thank you. But we don't say thank you. Because what is there to say with the mouth? Normally there are no words for thank you. Because how can you say this if you are feeling from the heart? Even a glance, even a glint in the eye can express that. Just a smile, just the bending of your head. There's nothing to be said. To feel the gratefulness and thankfulness for the great blessings of God. But if you read newspapers every day, you will forget this mantra. Because when you read newspapers, you think, wow, what a curse it is. God is a curse on this earth. Or that He has put His curse on me and I am the persecuted animal. For ascent, it's not a mental procedure, it's a procedure of the heart, which is thanksgiving. Look at the flowers. They are giving thanks to God. The whole being is nothing but thanksgiving. Not worried. They have been plucked, they will die tomorrow. Not worried. As long as they live, is giving thanks. Look at everything. Look at this candle. What is it? It's thanksgiving. Everything that is created is giving thanks. What about us human beings? We say because we can say it. They cannot say. It doesn't have words to say. We have language. That's how we have become superficial. We have lost our depth because we have language. There is no language for the silent expression. So those who do not feel realization should be thankful to God that at least they desire Him, that they are seekers, that they are seeking God. How many there are? Today when I was coming to Caxton Hall, I found people walking with their tailcoats and so many seriously, all of them, bow ties. How many are seekers in this world? How many are seeking God? How many are seeking higher life? So be thankful that you are seekers, that you have felt the need of God's love, that you do not want anything that is not God. It's such a great thing that you have a heart, you have a mind that desires the highest. Be thankful that you are seekers and born in this great time where you have to get your realization. Be thankful. I know you have committed mistakes. All right, doesn't matter. In your seeking you have committed mistakes, doesn't matter. But be thankful that God is looking after you. You are the special people created by His love, guided by Him. So be thankful. And thankfulness is a quality of heart. That's how, when you feel the beauty of thankfulness, then you start feeling the Spirit within you. It cannot be expressed. It cannot be returned. It can only be enjoyed. The blessings can only be enjoyed, isn't it? And it is for enjoyment only. It's not for anything else. Just that you should enjoy the blessings, that's why the blessings are there. So to achieve the blessings is not the point. Blessings are everywhere. For I would say there are tremendous vibrations today in Caxton Hall. And now some of you are not feeling it. That doesn't mean that God has not accepted it. That doesn't mean that. It only means you have to turn your face a little bit this side. Nobody should feel higher because they are feeling vibrations. Or nobody should feel lower because they are not feeling vibrations. But if somebody tries to help you, don't feel bad. Now, all of you who are going to look after the new people here must know that again it's God's blessings that you are here, that you have this great work to be done, that you are now employed by God and He has given you this special job to give realization. Again, count your blessings. Don't feel depressed. Some people say, Mother, now you are going and they are all going with you. God knows why I am taking them there. Perhaps they need more training than you do. But again, the competitiveness comes. Some have to be in the reserve force, as they say. But where am I going? And that is how, in both ways, we have to count our blessings. That you are going or not going is not the point. Both of you have a responsibility which is bestowed upon you as a blessing from God. If the attitude towards Sahaja Yoga becomes of a child who expects everything from God because he is the child of God. What's wrong? It's no ego. Because if God is almighty, he'll jolly well have to look after you, isn't it? But we are not like children, you know. That's the reason. A child will demand. But you must have that faith that whatever you demand, he will do it. I don't know if you have forgotten a story I used to tell a long time back. What my grandmother told me once upon a time. Yeah, come. What do you want? Want this? What? Have it? No? You want chana? Have it. No. Chana? No. Then a kiss? Come. Give me a kiss. Come. No? All right. Give this to mommy. Come along. Give this to mommy. Responsibility. They like it. They like it. You must watch them. All right. Now, what do you want? Yeah? You want flowers? No? All right. You give it to them. Give it to them. Give it to them. Give it to them. Not for himself, but for others. Give it. This is God's help. How children explain things so in such a simple way. We cannot be like children. We are very grown-ups, you see. First give me this. All right. Now, put your hand